Hello viewers, my name is Chinese Girl. Thank you for joining us today for another episode of Bible Verses for Everyday Living. Today's episode reminds us how we need to be very careful with what we say. Likely we have all experienced the damage done by gossip. There is a story about a man who was sorry for gossiping and wanting to undo the damage he done. A priest told him to buy a pillow and cut it open and put a feather on the doorstep of every house in town. The man did that, and the next day he reported to the priest. The priest then instructed him, now go and gather all the feathers, which was obviously impossible to do, just as it is impossible to unspeak words once spoken that may have drifted from person to person for miles around. A scripture that addresses this is Matthew 18:15. So then if your brother sins against you, go and show him his fault between you and him alone. If he is willing to hear you, you have gained your brother. One important part of doing that is you just might discover that there is an explanation that was not known. Today's story is about the Children Mooney family, and yes, that is their last name, Children Mooney. Scene 1 involves a conversation between two of the girls in the family. Talks quick and listens quick.
Hello, listens quick. How are you?
I am fine. You look like you have something on your mind.
Oh, I do. I just heard Mom and Dad talking about the strangest thing.
Oh, really? What was it?
Well, I was sitting in the beanbag chair reading, and I don't think Mom and Dad saw me as they were leaving.
Okay.
I heard Dad ask Mom if she had the adoption agreement and if it was signed.
Adoption agreement? That mean?
Well, now that I think about it, Mom and Dad have been acting a little odd, haven't they?
Well, maybe.
They couldn't possibly be thinking about adopting another child, could they?
I think they would have told us about that, wouldn't they?
I think they would, but I plainly heard them mention a signed adoption agreement. Now that I think about it, it might be nice to have a new child in the family. Why? It could be wonderful. I'm so excited. I think I will call Grandpa and Grandma and tell them.
Wait, did you confirm this information with Dad?
Well, no, they left right after I heard it.
Well, I think you should wait and confirm what's going on before you get carried away.
I suppose you're right.
In the meantime, how about we clean up the house and make a special dinner so we can hear the news when Mom and Dad get home?
Okay, that sounds like fun. Maybe we should set an extra place at the table.
Or maybe an extra bib and bottle.
The two girls worked extra hard to clean up the house and make a nice dinner. Scene 2 occurs when Mom and Dad return home.
Hello, Treasure. Well, you girls made dinner.
Yes, we thought it would be nice.
Well, we are happy so we appreciate it. So, girls, what has gotten into you two? It is not often that you clean up the house and make dinner.
Well, to be honest, we're quite curious about something.
Quite curious, what are you curious about?
Oh, Mom, stop keeping us in suspense. When you left earlier, Toxwick was reading in the beanbag chair and overheard you and Dad talking.
Oh, really? What did you hear, Talks Quick?
Well, what I heard was most unexpected.
Most unexpected, and what is with this bottle of bib at the table?
Think about what Dad said when you were leaving.
I am getting confused, and I don't remember saying anything remarkable. Okay, Thomas Quick, what did you hear Father say?
Oh, Mother, I'm so sorry. I suppose you and Dad wanted to surprise us.
Surprise you?
I know you like babies, Mother, and I heard Dad ask if you had the signed adoption agreement.
Adoption agreement?
Ha 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 ha. Now I get it. That is funny. What's so funny, Dad? Ha ha ha, the adoption agreement.
Why is that funny?
Well, you see, we did have a signed adoption agreement. but it wasn't for a child.
I see. It must have been for a dog or cat.
No, I'm afraid it's not that exciting.
How come?
The adoption agreement is for an SEPIRA account that your father is opening. It's just paperwork for a special kind of retirement account.
Oh, Mother, what a letdown.
Sorry to disappoint you. What say we enjoy this fine meal you two have provided?
Well, viewers, what do you think of our story today? You can see how incomplete or misunderstood information can lead to wrong conclusions. So if you feel that you have to someone, or perhaps it seems someone has sinned against you, if you follow what Scripture says to do, you might find out that maybe your brother didn't sin against you after all, and there was a misunderstanding or lack of information. Just think of how many problems will be solved in the kingdom when people are required to follow this simple instruction. No doubt the kingdom years will be known as a time of problem solving, instead of a time of pain and suffering due to slavery and failure to be truthful like the world we see all around us today. So until next time, try to be careful with what you say.